Good morning, guys. I hope you are having a good. Well, I hope you've had a good week. Um, Here we are, at the end of another week. One week, and one step closer to Christmas. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about something that I think has become very noticeable with a lot of family vloggers, and it's something that a lot of family vloggers genuinely have in common. And I've noticed this for a very long time. You know, you can really tell that a lot of these family vloggers have this huge kind of inability to be able to kind of handle any sort of negative opinions or negative comments. You know, they don't like the fact that some people have a negative opinion on what they do or how they make a living. You know, they don't think that people should have a negative opinion on what they do. And, you know, the way I see it, if that's how they feel, and if that's what they think, then perhaps maybe they shouldn't be doing YouTube, because they need to learn that they need to start accepting that it's, it's a time now where people are going to have negative opinions, as you know. Not everyone who comments on their channel, on their vlogs, is going to have a positive opinion on what they do. You know, it's also one of them blocking people who post negative comments. But that's, but at the end of the day, when they're blocking people who post negative comments or have a negative opinion, all they're really showing is that they just can't handle that. Like, they can't handle the negative comments that are being posted on their channel. That, it's like it kind of shows why they shouldn't be doing social media. You know, at the end of the day, none of these family vloggers have any right to stop people from having their opinion, or from sharing their opinion, regardless of whether that's a positive opinion or a negative opinion. People have a right to their opinion. You know, it's not, as I've said before in the videos I did the other day, it's not against the law for someone to have a negative opinion on what they do, or for people to not like what they do. They might not like the fact that some people don't like or agree with what they do, but that's the way that things are now. You know, and if they can't accept that and they can't deal with that, or they can't deal with that, then maybe they shouldn't be doing social media, or they shouldn't be doing YouTube, or whatever. Because there are people who are going to post negative comments. And they can't keep blocking people just because the person doesn't agree with what they do, which is basically the only reason why they block people. Is because some people don't agree with what they do or how they make a living. You know, and it's like, it's okay for somebody to be all, his-salsy, and it's okay for people to respect what they do. It's okay for people to like what they do. But you can't have a negative opinion of what they do. You can't not like what they do. That's not allowed. You can't do that. You're not allowed to not like what they do. You know, I think, you can see that it really gets to them that there are, knowing that there are people out there who don't agree with what they do, or, have a negative opinion on what they do, or have a negative viewpoint on what they do. You know, when I think about these family vloggers, I don't feel bad. Like, when I post, obviously I did post quite a few negative comments on Sarah's TikTok video that she put out yesterday. But, to be honest, I don't regret any of the comments I posted on her TikTok video yesterday. I really don't, because most of the comments I posted on her TikTok video yesterday were true. I basically sort of, I laid into them about the fact they can't handle negative comments. I was basically really, I was really kind of having a go at them for that, saying that they couldn't handle negative comments, and they've never been able to handle that. And of course, obviously, I got blocked, which was inevitable. And you know, obviously Sarah didn't like that. Has obviously taken offence to a lot of the comments I posted on those, the majority of those comments. I mean, obviously, you know, they won't like being called out and being told that they can't handle negative comments. They will laugh at that kind of suggestion, but that's all they're really showing people is they can't handle negative opinions, you know. I mean, obviously I've done so many videos on my channel talking about these family vloggers and talking about what they do and sharing my negative opinion on what they do. And if I'm being honest, I don't regret any of the things I've ever said about about these family vloggers in my videos. I've never ever, you know, there's never ever been a time where I posted a video about these family vloggers and I've sort of regretted what I said in that video, because I stand by what I say, you know. And the reason that I don't regret saying the things I say in my videos, obviously 2 videos I did when I was talking about wanting the instead. Obviously that was 2 videos I do deeply regret doing, and I you know, I don't know why I felt the need to do those 2 videos, because they were so extreme. And you know, whenever I think about it now, I was thinking like, you know, I think to myself like, what was I even thinking of at the time? You know, thinking why was I posting videos like that? You know, I think, to be honest, I mean, those are the only 2 videos that I regret doing. You know, that's all I can say. Like, you know, I don't feel bad about what I said in any other video though, apart, you know, since then. You know, I feel like, you know, there's a lot of what I've said about the internet, a lot of what I've said about these family vlogging channels in general is what I know is 100% true. You know, I wouldn't be doing these videos if I knew that everything I was saying in my videos was complete lies. You know, I don't do videos to tell lies, or you know, to make defamatory accusations or anything like that. You know, I'm not trying to defame people. You know, I've been had a go at many times for posting what people were claiming to be defamatory comments, which, I mean, maybe that's how it can be seen, but I don't see my comments that I post as being defamatory comments. I see my comments as being comments that people have a right to post, you know, that people have a right to post. People have a right to have their negative opinion on what they do. You know, people have a right to call these family vloggers out for their inability to be able to handle negative comments or negative opinions. You know, people have a right to call them out and say, well, you know, you obviously quite clearly can't handle the negative opinions. You quite clearly can't handle the negative comments that are being posted. You know, it's not wrong for people to be saying, well, if they can't handle negative comments or they can't handle negative opinions, then maybe they shouldn't be doing social media. Or maybe they shouldn't be doing YouTube. Because it's absolute that, you know, those people are absolutely right. You know, those people who think that, like myself, for example, are absolutely bang on the money. Because if these family vloggers have not actually handled negative comments or negative opinions, then they shouldn't be doing social media. They shouldn't be doing YouTube. And this is what the problem is. What a big part of the problem is these days with a lot of these family vlogging channels. I mean, yeah, the child exploitation, you know, is a huge issue within itself, but it's also to do with their inability to handle negative comments or negative opinions, if you know what I mean. You know, none of them are able to. None of these, or hardly any of these family vloggers are actually able to handle people's negative opinions or negative comments. You know, and I know that people say, oh, well, they shouldn't have to handle those negative comments, they shouldn't have to handle negative opinions. You know, people should, I know that there'll be a lot of people out there who say that people shouldn't have a negative opinion on what, shouldn't have a negative opinion on what these family vloggers do, but, that's the way life is. People are going to have their negative opinions on what these family vloggers do, whether people like that or not. I don't care whether people whether people like my opinions or not. Whether people like it or not, I'm going to voice my opinions. I don't care if Chris and Sarah or any other family vloggers don't like those opinions, don't like people voicing those opinions. It just goes to show that they're just, all they're showing is that they cannot handle negative comments, and they cannot handle criticism, they cannot handle negative comments, they cannot handle negative opinions. And those are three big reasons that for why they shouldn't be doing YouTube, or they shouldn't be doing social media. They're also, it's also well and good when people are hissing their backsides and blowing dust up their asses. But God forbid someone has a negative opinion, that really pisses them off. It really, people, someone having a negative opinion on what they do really gets to them. It must really piss them off, the fact that someone does actually have a negative opinion on what they do. Because they obviously don't think that people should have a negative opinion, or they don't expect people to have a negative opinion on what they do. They sort of think that every single person should like and respect what they do. And they think that's how it's going to work. They think everyone is going to like and respect what they do. But that's not the way that things work, in this day and age. It's not my fault, it's not anyone else's fault that these family vloggers, can't handle negative opinions or negative comments. Obviously they're happy to share their lives and broadcast their kids' lives all over social media. But they don't, they have such a big issue they obviously have such a big issue with the fact that some people don't agree with that. There's not a single, if people are saying they shouldn't be putting their kids out there online, people are not exactly wrong for saying that. I don't think anyone will ever be wrong for saying that these family vloggers should not be putting their kids out there online, especially to make money from that. Because that's the only reason that we all know that's the only reason they put their kids out there online, is so they can make a decent amount of money. And at the end of the day, they are making a decent amount of money from putting their kids out there online. And that's the saddest part about all of this, is the amount of money that these parents are actually making from putting their kids out there online. They're making way more money than they would be if they weren't putting their kids out there online. If they weren't putting their kids out there online, they wouldn't be making anywhere near as much money as they're making now. They are making a shite ton of money. And it's all because they are putting their kids out there online. That's the only reason that any of these family vloggers are where they are now. They would be nothing without their kids. If it wasn't for their kids, their channels would be worthless. If it wasn't for their kids, their channels would have died a very long time ago. As people won't watch the vlog, people don't watch their vlogs to watch the parents or watch what the parents are doing. They only watch the vlogs to watch what the kids are doing. And I don't know how people are trying to deny that, because we all know it's true. And I think it's something that, most people with an ounce of common sense know is true. The problem is, the people who support these channels and support these family vloggers and what they do don't have an ounce of common sense in their bloody heads. They don't have the common sense to be able to see that what these parents are doing is wrong. I mean, you know, people like myself know that what these family vloggers are doing is wrong. You know, it just really, it really pisses me off when people are so quick to jump, the way people are so quick to jump to their defense and say, oh no, they're not doing anything wrong. Actually, yes, they are. You know, there's so many things that they are doing that are not okay. You know, it's unbelievable. You know, it makes me laugh how the way these family vloggers get so triggered by someone having a negative opinion on what they do. As that clearly does trigger them, you know, that clearly does trigger them, the fact that not everyone has a positive opinion on what they do, or has a positive viewpoint on what they do. But that's the way life is. You know, they have to accept that people are going to have negative opinions on what they do. They need to start accepting the fact that not everyone is going to have a positive opinion on what they do. And if they can't accept that, then maybe, just maybe, they shouldn't be doing YouTube, or they shouldn't be doing social media. If you can't handle negative opinions, or can't accept that people are going to have negative opinions, you shouldn't be doing social media. Simple as that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for another one very soon. Have a good day. Bye bye.